Hi guys, this is what I have come up with from the latest editions from Deepsha. So we had to do some data validations and the other columns. Now this row A here, I mean column A here, you can see there that it's named as CS row number. The CS means that's customer sheet row number. So I needed to do this so that we know how um to trace values for each row for each product. So if you try to look at the customer sheet from here, it says customer sheet row number 2 and the product is 25 silver lacquer. So when you try to check here, it's row 2. So there you can see it. 25 silver lacquer. So and and so on and so forth. Yeah. So the these are constant values. So which means you don't really have to do anything else for these columns. And so we actually want to start here in column F, which is the category IDs. So these are already validated. So if you want to start here, say row 6, just have to click on the option given. That's it. So that means the product belongs to the main category, which has an ID of 5 and belongs to a subcategory under that main category, which has an ID of 6. So if you want to trace this product on Magento, you can find it by just um, looking at the category IDs. So now if you accidentally press on other values, say something like this, say I want to press 7 accidentally and put in enter. So it doesn't allow you, it rejects your input and it shows a warning and an instruction on what to do. So it says here that you must use drop down arrow because no other values are allowed, and then you just press OK. So you just have to choose the option given. And for the SKU number, there is a counting, right? So you really have to refer on the CS row number. So when you say it's 5, so that means you have to enter the SKU number under row 5 in customer sheet. But you don't really have to look on the customer sheet anymore because I have I have configured it in a way that saves time, so you don't have to pick the customer sheet. So it's row 5, right? So you just have to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. And then the option. So you wanna see the instruction. Whenever you click, there's a validation, which means it would only validate such values if you follow the instruction given below. So for this block, it says that if there is color and size option for the product, then put 1 L0. So is there a color or size on the product name? Well, there's only one way to find out. You go in the product, and I mean in the name column, the product name column here. So we're in row 5, right? So we need to count. I mean we need to choose the 5th product name. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's silver vintage oval. You can actually check the whole thing in here. It says silver oval locket, something like that. Yeah, silver. So going back to the instruction here, it says that if there is color and size option for the product, then put 1L0. So actually there is a size option or the color option, because it says something like silver vintage and that's color. So you just have to choose one. Okay. And what makes this sheet amazing is that it autofills some other columns, so you don't have to fill them in yourself. So as you can see here, the moment you chose silver vintage oval locket, um, it automatically appears in this column, the meta title. And so for the meta description, again, so you're in row 5, you're in CS row 5, right? See, again, you have to count. You have to choose on the fifth one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't be confused on the title of the list. I purposely added this one so that you get to know what are these items. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Okay. And then for the image, the same goes for the image. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. See, it automatically appears in these columns too. So we have already configured that. So it saves a lot of time. Now for some of the columns, they need to be left blank because that's what the instructions says. So what if you accidentally put on some value? So actually, let's try that one out. Say we have accidentally put in K. Uh, say K, and then you press enter. The good thing about this is it doesn't let you put any values in it whenever the column is intended to be left as blank. So there's an instruction there, or there's a warning that says leave this blank. So you just press OK, and then you go on to the next one. Now, if you want to check what to do for each block, there is an automatic pop-up validation message. So there you see it says that you need to leave this as blank. Again, constant values, so you don't want it to do anything for these columns. And for the thumbnail, I guess, I'm sorry, thumbnail, yeah. So you might as well click on the block so you get to see the validation message, so you know what to do. So it says that you need to leave that blank too. So now the gray areas are those variables that we don't have any data. So we chose to color this as gray, which means we don't have any data for this one. So just leave that be. And yeah, for the price, this is it. There are only two columns that you need to manually check on the customer sheet, and those are price and MSRP. So these are the only columns that you need to pick on the customer sheet. The explanation lies on the Google Docs algorithm or something like that. So again, we're in row 5, right? Row 5. Oh, let me just freeze this freeze this one, freeze this, there. So you don't have to, so you don't need to go back to and fro. Okay, where are we? We're on the price, right? The price column. Okay, so so we are still in CS row number 5. So you just have to check that on the customer sheet. It's row 5, right? And you find the price column. It says it's 7.5. So you need to choose 7.5. Use the drop down arrow. So 7.5 there. Again, for the special price, we don't have data for that yet. So the weight is 1. Now, why do we have to validate this column? It is because we are trying um, to get rid of an accidents or unconscious mistakes. Say you accidentally put on other values, say 8 by mistake. There. If we didn't do data validation for this column, it would let us accidentally put in some values, which would really mess up the whole thing. So we need to do that, even though there's only one option for the rest of the rows under this column. So it says that use drop down arrow. So it rejects the input that you just put in accidentally. So you really have to use the drop down arrow. Again, the MSRP. So there are only 2 columns that you need to check from the customer sheet. That's again the price and the MSRP. So in the MSRP, you click on the customer sheet and then find the MSRP column. Okay, you can actually use, say, Control F MSRP, or you can do it manually. It depends on which makes you feel comfortable. So again, we're in row 5, right? So it says that the MSRP for the product is 17.99. So we just have to choose 17.99. 17.99. That's it. Again, constant values here and there. Description. We're in CS row number 5, so which means we need to choose the 5th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So as you can see here, the meta keyword column, it is automatically filled up because we have configured it that way, so it saves a lot of time. Again, for the custom layout update, it says that you have to leave this blank, so leave that be. Let me just color this one to color blue so it's uniform to the rest. Okay, the minimum QTY, I think that's quantity. So you can actually just hover your cursor on the block to see the validation, or you can click on it and the validation message pops up. So it says again you have to leave this blank. So you have to leave that blank. And the here wait. See, so you also have to leave that blank there. Leave that blank. Constant values. You don't really have to worry about those constant values anymore. So again, this has this is autofill, so you don't have to fill that one out again. So this one, it says leave this blank, and this one it says leave this blank. So that's it, you're done.